At the start of the film, high security and cameras are shown, as well as a man named Chiro. He had a car in front of him, and he is a thief. Now he somehow opens the door of the car and sits inside it. He takes the music system out of the car because he wants to steal the important parts. Then he takes the important things out from the dashboard. He keeps all the things, and when he completes his task, then he tries to open the car door and feels the door will open quickly. He couldn't open the door even though he tried hard. Then he tried to open the other door, but it was also locked. He wasn't worried and tried to break the front glass with his feet. He was hitting it repeatedly, but it didn't break even after trying hard. His tension was increasing now. He used the tools with which he could open the car tires. He hits them on the front glass, but it can't break. He couldn't understand anything. Then he opened the locked place at the car lock, but his hand becomes injured because of opening it. He goes to the back seat and takes out a gun. Then he shoots at the glass, but the bullet hits his leg. Here it discovers all the mirrors of the car were bulletproof. Ciro's leg was also injured along with his hand. He ties his t-shirt on his leg and then sees a girl who is coming near the car. She takes out the lipstick and wears it while watching the side window of the car. Then she left. Even Chiro was shouting, but she wasn't listening. This was a soundproof car and you can see outside from it but can't see inside from outside. Chiro was stuck in this car and couldn't understand what he should do. He takes out his phone and tries to call his wife, but it turns off as its battery was dead. Chiro feels thirsty and takes a Pepsi bottle out of his bag and drinks it. Likewise, the day passed and now the night has appeared and he was thirsty. So he tries to lick water from the window of the car as he was thirsty, hungry, and tired as well. He puts the music player back in the car when morning comes. He plays the music and becomes relaxed with it. Then he sees the music system turns off automatically and he receives a call, and this was from the car's owner, who was a doctor. He tells Chiro this is his car and he has set many securities in it. I called them 4x4. There is the only way to go out of this car is a tank, and if you will try to do even this I will blast you. As I have set an explosive under the car, and also tells him about his personal life. He claims my wife is no longer alive and that I am suffering from a terrible disease. I will also die after some days. This wasn't affecting Chiro, and he warns the doctor that he will end his family if he will not release him. This had no effect on the doctor because the doctor had gone insane. Chiro says it is hot inside, so get me out of this car right away. Then the call disconnects and the car's AC turns on automatically. Because of the AC, there was cold increasing in the car and the temperature of the car becomes low. He was shivering because of the cold and now he wears a t-shirt. This wasn't affecting and his lips also turns blue because of the cold. His infection was also increased. Before he could lose his life, the doctor turns the AC off. Chiro wasn't understanding anything that what to do. Then he notices a police car coming toward him. He calls the police officer, but he can't see or listen to him. Actually, he has come here for this car's challan. This car was parked at the wrong place because there was written no parking. Chiro has given up hope and believes he will remain trapped in the car. Then he sees Hope as a thief was trying to open this car. His luck wasn't good and the people around sees him. The police also arrive and there were many people around the car, but none knows there is someone stuck in the car.
Later, they leave, and then Chiro again receives that doctor's call. Chiro says he doesn't agree with the rules of this world because of the rich benefit from the poor.
He doesn't want the rich to take benefit from the poor. That is why he commits robbery, and if someone forbids him at gunpoint, he will not comply. The doctor likes this and tells Chiro, there is a pipe at the back seat and you can have water from it. This is the water to clean the car. Chiro hurriedly takes out his bottle and fills it for drinking it. Even though this was chemical water, but he was thirsty, so he drinks it. Another day passed, and now his mind was also affected. He became physically and mentally weak. Then he takes a paper and starts eating it. He gets a call from the doctor again, and this time he tells him that there is chocolate under the dashboard. You can eat it, so Chiro takes it out and eats it. Then he has some energy in his body and takes his phone battery out and places it in front of him, so it will be charged with the solar energy. Now he again receives the doctor's call and tells him he went to his home and met his family. I have told them they have a lottery of $1 lakh and lied about our job, then gave them $1 lakh and asks them to buy their new house. That's why your family is shifted to a new house from the old one. The doctor ends the call saying this, and Chiro feels bad hearing all this.
He thinks the doctor has reached his home. Then he puts the battery that was charging with the solar energy into the cell and turns it on.
He calls his wife immediately, but she doesn't receive the call and leaves a voice note for his wife. Now he is shown pressing the start button of the car. Then the car starts and he reverses the car at a full speed, but it hits a wall. The back mirror of the car breaks after it. He comes out of the car and goes to the petrol pump's cafe. He purchases some food items and starts eating them. Meanwhile, the security guard says you have to pay for them before eating them. He has no money, so he takes his gun out and ends him. Then he awakes and it was all his dream, but Chiro was still in the car and his condition gets worse. He has no energy and he tries to end himself with the gun he has. There was the doctor's call again, and the car's light turns on and the doctor was standing in front of him. Then he comes inside the car as he knows he has no energy to attack him. The doctor says, I was robbed many times and I have made a car in which I can trap a thief. Now you are trapped in this car. Later, he calls someone, and Chiro gets benefits from it. He shoots at the doctor and comes out of the car, but he was crawling. He has no energy to run from there. The bullet wasn't fired at the doctor and he comes to Chiro. Then he snatches the gun from him and beats him. Meanwhile, a police officer sees them doing all this. The doctor was taking Chiro inside the car, but the police officer asks him to leave him. Then he points a gun at Chiro and says he is a thief. He tried to steal my car, but the doctor wasn't agreeing with her, and many reporters and police arrived.
A police officer arrives who was retired and tries to talk to the doctor. Actually, he was trying to convince him.
The police officer asks him to leave this thief, but the doctor says this is my problem and the police aren't working properly. That's why the thieves were wandering and I am doing right. Few people were supporting the doctor and saying the doctor is saying right. They want the doctor to end Chiro, and half of them want the doctor to release Chiro. The doctor agrees and releases Chiro. He gradually walks and comes to the police. Later, the doctor sits in his car. Then he starts a timer on his mobile phone while sitting in his car, and then there was a huge blast. The doctor has blasted his car because of the explosive he set in his car. Now the doctor was dead. Later, Chiro is shown he has got the punishment for his mistakes and the police have arrested him. Now he was free from the doctor. The story of this movie is based on a true story. Everyone was saying this, that the doctor was right and he was satisfied that he was doing right. This is a huge lesson for the government. After it, the police will do their job well, at least. They will also control the crimes in the city. Chiro was taken to the hospital and then he was treated. Later, there will be a case against him and he will get punishment. Here this movie ends.